Look at those tiny silhouettes at the bottom. A crowd of people standing in the Arizona desert, staring up at something that is 1.3 million times bigger than the planet they're standing on, and a moon that just barely fits over it. Here's the thing that keeps catching you off guard. The moon is 400 times smaller than the sun, and yet it fits, almost perfectly. That's not physics being tidy. That's a coincidence so precise, it genuinely has no good explanation. The moon also happens to be 400 times closer, and those two numbers cancel out so cleanly that from Earth, both disks look almost exactly the same size. If the moon were just a little smaller, you'd never get a total eclipse. A little bigger, and you'd never see the sun's outer atmosphere at all. We sit right in the window. Now look down at the base of the image. Those are real people, gathered at Glen Canyon National Recreation Area near Page, Arizona in 2012, with park rangers and astronomers walking among them explaining what they were seeing. One person has their arms up. Someone is shooting with a long lens mounted on a tripod. There's a vehicle parked to the right, which tells you this was a pull-off, a field, an improvised gathering spot. They drove out to a dark, flat place, pointed their faces at the sky, and just stood there together. And if you look just inside the sun's disk, near where the moon's edge curves away, there, slightly to the lower left of center on that bright crescent, you can make out a faint cluster of dark specks. Those are sunspots. Each one of those specks is roughly the size of Earth. They appear tiny against the sun's full disk, and they appear tinier still compared to the moon, which is itself tiny compared to the sun, which is itself one average-sized star among some 200 billion in this galaxy alone. What gets you is the scale stacking. Sunspots the size of Earth, dwarfed by the moon, dwarfed by the sun, and at the very bottom of the frame, barely visible, a row of people who drove out to a field just to feel all of that at once. You wonder if they felt small, or if somehow they felt the opposite. What would you have felt standing there? We'll be back tomorrow with whatever the selector finds next. Subscribe so you don't have to remember to check.